Welcome back. I hope you are in high spirits. As a part of this video, we'll understand some of the important aspects to be remembered while writing the SQL statements. Let's get started. So while writing the SQL statements, we got to remember or consider few of the points. They are, first and foremost thing is, SQL statements are not case sensitive. We can write the SQL statements in one or more lines, and we cannot abbreviate the keywords in SQL statements, and we can place the SQL statements in separate lines. In the end, indents are used to enhance the readability in SQL statements. Let us understand them in a bit more detail. So SQL statements or SQL statements are not case sensitive. What am I talking about? Am I talking about a capital letter, small letter? Yes, I am talking about capital letter and small letter. Hey Mahanta, you may be thinking this presenter taking me to the nurseries. Not really. We got to remember the case sensitivity in most of the programming languages, and SQL is also another important language. So when I say not case sensitive, whenever you write any SQL statements or SQL statements, either you can write them in a uppercase or lowercase. For the query to work, it doesn't matter you are writing in a uppercase or a lowercase. Can we mix and match them? Yes, you are free to do so. So SQL statements are not case sensitive. Can use either capital letters or small letters while writing the SQL statements. Let us take an example here. Assume we are trying to work on a table named employee. In order to fetch all the records from a employee table, I can say select star from employee. So in this case, if you see, select and from are in uppercase or capital letters. This also works. Or you are feeling, I really don't like the capital letters or uppercase letters, you can go ahead and write the same statement in a lowercase. This also works. But pay attention here. I went ahead, and if you critically notice, I have typed the select statement in lowercase, but I have kept the name of the table in the uppercase only. So one more point you got to remember is SQL statements can be written in uppercase or lowercase, but the same rule will not apply for database objects. When I say database objects, I'm talking about the table name, view name, sequence name, and all those things. Whatever the case you have used while creating a table, the same case need to be used while using that also. You cannot write this capital employee table as a small employee table and expect it to work. It won't work, because while creating a table, you have created that with the capital letters. Just to summarize, SQL statements can be either in uppercase or lowercase, and they are not case sensitive, but database object names are case sensitive. The next important thing is we have a flexibility of writing SQL statements either in a single line or in a multiple lines. It is entirely up to you. Taking an example here, I am trying to get the customer ID column from orders table. So this is in a single line. The same statement can be written in a multiple lines. So depending upon your need and your preference, you can write the SQL statements in a single line or multiple line. Both of them work. We are in an era of WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, so on and so forth. We tend to abbreviate multiple. Instead of saying hello, we'll say HLO. Instead of saying I love you, we'll say ELU. While we are so habituated to abbreviate everything what we are doing, we cannot abbreviate the keywords in a SQL statements. Keywords must be specified properly. We are sorry, that is what SQL makes it mandatory. You have to specify the keywords properly. No scope of abbreviation. If you abbreviate the keywords and SQL statements, they won't work. For example, here we are saying select columns from table where condition we are giving. Okay. If you give this, it works. Instead of this, if you try to abbreviate select as a SEL, where as a WHR, it won't work. So be careful while using the keywords in SQL statements, because abbreviation is not permitted in SQL. One more very important aspect is, usually, even though we said either we can write the SQL statements in a single line or multiple lines, whenever clauses comes into picture, clauses like where clause, we tend to place them on a separate lines, because they are in a way indicating the condition, right? To make that condition explicit, we tend to place the clauses in a separate line to make it more explicit. The last one which we need to remember is, though SQL do not mandate the indentation, let me repeat, though indentation is not mandatory in SQL, we recommend indentation to be taken care to enhance the readability. So whenever you indent a SQL code, it is very easy to follow and it looks visually structured. Both of them are complementary to each other. If it is visually structured, it is easy to follow and understand. For example, here we can write this whole code in a 3 lines with a proper indentation so that it is structured visually and also it is easy to follow. Awesome. We understood some of the important aspects to be remembered while writing the SQL statements. Please do remember them. Thank you.